welcome to Raw Sound Entertainment's 500 Greatest Album Review of All Time from Rolling Stone Magazine. Today we will be looking at number 493 on the list, which is Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco. So, today we have two hosts as usual, so my name is Sam.
I'm Marshall.
And today we're going to be looking at this album. So, Marshall, tell us a little bit about Wilco.
Okay, well, Wilco is sort of close to where I live. They're a band based in Chicago, and that will sort of play, actually, I think, into the album art, for the cover art for this album, which I'll say in advance, I won. But yeah, they were based in Chicago, and there's some interesting things with this album as far as they transferred over to from their previous record company. What was it called again?
Well, they started with I don't know if I'm gonna get this right. Reprise Records or Reprise Records.
Yeah, they started with Reprise. Yeah, Reprise Records, and this album was a turning point for the band because this album was sort of what launched, gave them the power almost to switch over from Reprise Records to a much larger record company. RCA or Warner, right?
Yeah, they went with Warner Music.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is they got dropped by Reprise Records when they were recording this album, and then they decided to go online and put their music online for people to be able to buy there. So they sort of had a Radiohead type of thing, where Radiohead decided to not go with the labels and be the first band to put all their music online. And Radiohead did it for free. I don't know if Wilco did it for free. But that's the thing, right? And then Warner saw that they had talent, picked them up, and they joined one of the biggest record labels of all time from Reprise Records, which is not that relevant of a label.
Well, and I think that's that sort of story of trying to go online is relevant today because year by year record companies become less and less required to become successful as an artist. I mean, any really good, let's just say, really good artists are becoming more and more exposed just by using YouTube and just by using the internet. It's you can put millions of dollars into advertising, but sometimes a bunch of people liking and sharing your content is going to be better advertising than whatever money a record company throws at you. And when you also look at the fact that it's becoming harder to monetize records, record companies are on the decline. And this is kind of off topic, but I'm guessing in the next 20 years record companies will become extinct.
I agree.
And I'm not sure what that means for the music industry as a whole. I think musicians need to find a way to make money off of their content better, because obviously not a lot of people are actually buying songs anymore, and it's an enormous problem. So I think over the next 10 years, there's going to be a process of musicians, trying to figure out how do we produce good music and still make money off of it, and that's important because artists need to be reimbursed for what they produce. But yeah, that was just a little diatribe off topic. But yeah, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. They're
number 3 in the top 100 albums released in 2000s. So that's crazy. Got some merit for sure. Do we agree with it? Stick around and check it out, I guess. If you haven't listened to this record yet, I forgot to say this at the beginning, do listen to it because it's more fun if you've heard the record before to listen to us talk about it. But of course, if you haven't listened to this LP, you can still hear us talk about it, and it'll still make some sense because we'll try to keep it as how would I put it? As much of layman terms as possible, I guess. Mm-hmm. We'll leave it at that. All right, so album art. Let's talk about that first.
Yes, my favorite part about this episode.
For sure, yeah, it's a beautiful album art. I almost want to say it's my favorite album art that we've seen so far in this series.
Yes, and so I said earlier that I won. Last episode, we had a little disagreement over whether the two buildings featured, I wasn't even 100% sure they were buildings. At first I thought they were those old retro furniture that you stack CDs on.
That's a lot of fucking CDs,
But I thought that's what it was. Like, okay. There were 2 huge CD towers. But
yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I thought they might have been, but they're not. They turned out I was right. There are 2 towers in Chicago called the Marina Towers. I think that's what they're called. Although now they're nicknamed the Wilco Towers because of this album.
Yep.
Which is really cool. And beautiful album art as far as just really dead, plain, and simple.
It's so minimalistic, which I'm a big fan of minimalistic. If I am not a maximalist, where, as I say, less is more instead of more is more. And this really does it, because you got the 2 buildings, you got Yankee, Hotel, Foxtrot, Wilco, that's it. And that's what they give you, and it's like it's just nice. I would hang this album up on my wall.
I was just gonna say that this is the kind of album art that looks good on a wall. Or hell, you could like paint a larger version of this on a wall. You're right. It's so minimalistic that it doesn't the focus is on the 2 objects you want it to be on. In terms of displaying information, this album art does it perfectly. It's not doing too much. I think Aquemini, our first album we reviewed, is the opposite of this. It's maximalist. There's so many things going on in that picture. In that little artwork of characters and different colors, and this is like the polar opposite. There's no people in this. There's just inanimate objects and just very simple. The font, I like the font. Do you like the font?
I do like the font too. It's very 60s, 70s sort of Broadway type thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is gonna make me sound very boring, but I also like the color. I think the color is very soothing.
I like the beige.
It's nice. It's a nice beige. It's nice. I think it's a good color. I don't think it's. I think it's just a good album art for sure. I don't know if it's gonna be my favorite of all the albums, but it's certainly my favorite so far.
Yep, it's really cool. I'm not sure if it's. To be honest, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's my favorite even now, because I really liked, I liked BB King's, because I just liked the color they used for that, and I also like the white blood cells. I don't know, like I'm easy to please with album art. I'll say that.
That boss Skaggs though. That boss Skaggs though. Okay, less enough about the album art. Let's get into the album. So, let's start with the title, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, which in military alphabet is YHF. I don't know what that stands for.
Not necessarily phonetic. It's like not military. It's the phonetic alphabet. It's just like what people use when they need to use it over radio.
Over radios, like police officers use it, and it's I think it's codenamed the military alphabet or maybe the Navy alphabet. I'm not sure, but YHF. I don't know, but I don't know if that means anything, even if it does. But Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, hotel. The 2 buildings are not they're not hotels, but they could be. They could easily be hotels.
Yankee, Chicago is a very northern American city, and so you could say it's a very Yankee type of city.
The Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. Foxtrot being the dance. So could it be the Yankee Hotel's Foxtrot?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
we really just stretched that thread.
Maybe, but it makes sense.
And then, if you add 2 to 2 and divide it by 7, oh my God, Wilco is Illuminati.
I don't know. I like that. I like that though. Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
It's cool. Yeah, no, it might have some hidden meaning. Although Wilco, isn't Wilco also a phonetic letter?
Wilco, no. W would be... I don't remember. But it's not Wilco.
Okay. Because at first I thought they did that because Wilco was already a phonetic letter in the alphabet, but yeah. Oh, no, it's whiskey.
Whiskey. There you go.
Whiskey.
So, let's get into the actual songs 10 minutes into this video. What did you like?
What did I like? Well... I liked the opening track, I'm Trying to Break Your Heart. I didn't love it. I liked Chimera. Here's the thing. With this kind of music, Like, I'm just gonna open it with
well,
this.
What kind of music is this? What is this music?
It's really hard to place it, and I think you'll agree with me. It's like it's really hard to place this genre. But I said this, and I don't even fully agree with it. But I want to say alternative bluegrass, because it's not alternative country, and it's not alternative rock. And I guess if you put those two together and blend them up, it's alternative. I don't know, but like I'm gonna say alternative bluegrass. But like honestly, you guys can call it whatever you want. It's also got some '90s vibes to it. Not like grunge, but it has some of those. I want to say almost REM vibes to it, but not like. Don't think '90s when you're listening to this. It's weird. It's a weird genre. Wouldn't you agree?
And the first track is almost Pink Floyd like. Almost.
Every time you compare these to bands I love, I'm like, no.
Oh, come on. Like, it's like, I'm not saying that your band is identical to this. I'm just saying that the first track is almost Pink Floyd like. It's like it has that sort of very electronic, but then acoustic at the same time, very experimental, sort of on the long side, and it sort of morphs throughout the song, changes, and the vocals are sort of not like they're not the main focus of the song. You really get the experimental music, and it's a very different song than the rest of the album. If you go into the first track and you're like, I don't like this song, listen to the whole thing because it's very different.
I would say in general though, like this kind of music and this album does not excite me. It's like I don't have anything honestly bad to say about any of the songs in particular. I couldn't if I tried. Yeah, I want to say it's almost boring. So I'm gonna say like my favorite songs, the ones that weren't boring, Jesus Etc., Ashes of American Flags, Pot Kettle Black, and Reservations. Those four did not bore me entirely, but even those four were not like, they were like, you know, on a better album they would be decent tracks. On this one they're the best tracks, you know? Like I don't have a lot of really good things to say about this album, and it may be because I went into this album once again thinking, oh, this is gonna be awesome.
I did too, and I got the same feeling. Of sort of I was going to use the word mediocrity, which is not the case here. I got the sort of the underwhelming factor here. That it was not the same thing as MGMT and as the White Blood Cells. It wasn't that whole...
Or even the Stone Roses.
Exactly.
I thought the Stone Roses was better than this.
I thought it was going to be good, and it was good. I thought it was going to be good. It was okay. So I was like, you know... And that's the problem, right? Jesus Etc. is a great song on this album. I sort of put my tracks in good and great. I'm going to say Jesus Etc. I'm going to say it's great. The first time I heard it, I liked it, and every time I heard it after that, I liked it. It's now on my playlist. There's 3 songs on here that I added to my playlist, which I guess is sort of a way of measuring how much I like the song. But that's not the truth, though. Ashes of an American Flag, I liked, but it's not on my playlist. The reason is I thought it was not fun. I thought they were lyrically a very good song, but melodically it was not a very good song. Like not very appealing to the ear. Ashes of an American Flag has a meaning that is sort of darker. Like this whole album is very melancholic at times, but Ashes of an American Flag talks about sort of how America is not as great as it used to be. At least in my opinion, this is what it's talking about. And how at the end they say, salute the ashes of an American flag. So what they used to salute, which was an American flag, is now ashes. Because I guess they burnt their own flag. I don't know. Marshall has a much darker opinion of the song. But
would you like... I kind of cheated.
What?
I looked up the meaning of the song.
Oh no, what is the meaning?
I had to know.
What is the meaning?
The meaning, according to songmeanings.com, which is never wrong.
Oh, yes, this is a #1 source of the show.
The meaning, no, it said, someone said that in an interview, Jeff Tweedy, the lead singer, said that the Ashes American Flag song had nothing to do with anti-patriotism. It was about admiring people who had the balls to burn American flags.
Oh.
But there are some other people who disagree. So I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, that's a weird...
Here's the thing. Like, I think the two of us need to, maybe off screen or off recording, need to decide if we're going to take the official meanings or if we're just going to say whatever we interpret is the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, not whatever we interpret as the meaning, we take that.
I disagree with Jeff. Even though he wrote the song and sang it, I disagree.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, I do know what you mean.
Should we take our own meanings over the meanings of the lyricists? Because in that case, Oracular Spectacular is going to stay at an 8. But if we decide that the meanings of the lyricists hold true, I'm going to downgrade Oracular Spectacular.
No, I'm going to say that it was your own interpretation of the album, and it's a review,
okay.
So I'm not going to take any other factors into it. Because I think at this point it's good to lock in the review scores. Let's not change them. Let's not touch them anymore. We've already fucked with that enough. Like, I mean, let's try to not mess around too much more. So yeah, the album was good, I guess, is the best way to say it. It was nothing great. I think we can both agree on that. It was a good album. I don't know why it's number 3 on the list, probably because of its groundbreaking put it online and then become signed to the biggest label. I guess that's a weird way to put it. I'm bad with words today. I've had a long day.
No, but like, I agree with you. I think the historical event wrapped around with this album, also with the album, like, it just seems to be this, like, I almost feel like the cover art is more significant than the album itself. Like, yeah. Because the cover art was apparently able to change the name of those towers to unofficially Wilco Towers. Like, I almost feel like the cover art and the history and the mythology of this album is greater than the album itself, which is kind of sad, for me at least. I always feel that, like, it's better for an album to speak for itself, you know, and not have a bunch of people build it up for you, but you know.
Well, it's an early 2000s album, right? And you can obviously see
that's a swing or a miss.
It is, and you can obviously see, like, there's a lot of albums that went for this whole very simple album art in the future. So it was sort of a pioneer in that sense as well. But also, the lyrics are very 2000s as well. They're very, I guess, except for probably my least favorite song, I'm the Man Who Loves You, and Heavy Metal Drummer, which were both just really sappy love songs. The lyrics are very hard-hitting and very controversial, which you would see later in the 2000s with albums coming from Radiohead, Green Day's later stuff, and a few more. I'm not going to name any more because I'm out of examples. But there was a lot of Rage Against the Machine. There was a lot of 2000s bands that were really controversial and went to go for the not anti-establishment, but very anti-establishment, yes, but very controversial. And this one sort of had that in little parts, and I think really was the pioneer to a lot of that stuff.
Now, after everything that, like, I said about, like, the album being boring and not very, like, intense, and it didn't really speak to me, I will say this. This kind of album would be perfect, at least for me, for, like, if I had a girl over, I'd be playing this kind of album in the background, because it's not too intense, it's not too distracting, but it's decent background music, it's kind of hip, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's and then you look like a pretentious asshole when you pull out that fact. You're like, oh yeah, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, one of my favorite albums, actually. Like, smoking your pipe.
Oh no, if she asked, like, oh, do you like this album? I'd be like, no, it's terrible, but it sounds great in the background.
Oh,
like
geez.
Elevator music.
You know, yeah.
Now,
okay,
why don't we stop wasting our time, baby, and listen to The Wall for a few hours? But yeah, I know that sounds weird, but, like, this kind of music for me is good background music, but it's not the kind of music I would listen to and actively in any way.
I'd put B.B. King in the background, honestly.
Oh, B.B. King for me isn't background music because he talks to you a lot. Like, I feel like I'm listening to the dude. You know?
See, yeah.
He's talking too much for it to be background music. For me, B.B. King is listen to music because he's talking about it. Like, maybe another one of his albums would be better background music, but it's the one we reviewed live from Cook County is not background music. I think all live albums are not background music, to be fair. I'm not sure if you agree or not, but
I don't know.
Live albums are kind of in your face. And that sometimes isn't a good thing, but anyway.
Do you want to give a score to this guy?
Yeah, I'm going to give a score. I've been going back and forth. I thought 6.5, 6.5, but I'm going to give it a 6. I'll be fair.
I was thinking 6.7, 6.7. I'm going to give it a 6. So we were both sort of on the not opposite spectrums. But we were both the same score, but we were both leaning on a different side of the 6.
I decided to be nicer. He decided to be meaner.
yeah, that's the way it goes.
But.
So, what did you guys think? Leave the comments below. Tweet at us. I forgot to plug our Twitter, but I'll plug it here. At Raw Sound Entertainment. It's been on the screen since the beginning of the show. You probably saw it. It kind of flew in at the beginning. That's one of my favorite little infographics on the screen. I don't know if you saw that, Marshall, but I'm so proud of that little guy that flies into the beginning.
I like it too. Now,
so
next episode, we will be looking at album number. Album number 492. How do you pronounce that? Eurythmics. Eurythmics. Is that an actual word?
I don't think so.
Anyway, Eurythmics, and the album is called Touch, which is kind of interesting. And the weird thing is it's Touch with apostrophes around it, which I think is kind of. Oh wait, no. Sorry, no. All the albums are listed like that. Never mind. Okay, I thought that
Touch with apostrophes.
I thought that was officially the title of the album. Apostrophe, Touch, apostrophe. And it'll be another female lead vocals, since besides Bonnie Raitt, the only female vocals we've heard so far. And I have a feeling this one could be better than Bonnie Raitt. It's released in '84. And it's, according to Rolling Stones, it's synth pop. So I don't know.
I'm expecting some weird 80s shit.
Okay, for me, the album cover for this also looks really crazy.
Yeah.
But we'll get. I almost want to just leave talking about that until next time. But when I think of a good 80s girl, like a 80s phenom, I think of Cyndi Lauper. Like. And actually, one of her albums is coming up. But
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, 487 is Cyndi Lauper, not Lauper. Cyndi Lauper. She's so unusual. She's my favorite female singer from the 80s. She's awesome. But yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna live up to that, but we'll see. Hopefully, you guys will join us for that.
That's, I guess, us done for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.